If you've spent any time in the knitting world, I'm sure you've heard of the ranunculus. But what makes it so irresistible to knitters? And why do so many people make it over and over again? Today, I'm going to break down the top 5 reasons that people knit the ranunculus. Now, let me just say, I myself was reluctant to knit the ranunculus. The pictures on the pattern page didn't seem really enticing to me. It was knit to be really oversized, and though it can be knit at a tighter gauge, most of the pictures on the original pattern were knit at a very loose gauge. And though I don't dislike seeing pictures of that, I just felt like it was not very practical to wear, like things would be getting caught on things all the time. So that didn't really appeal to me. But then as time went on, I saw more and more pictures that looked really cute. And I was really intrigued by the fact that lots of people made it over and over again. And, I've seen several YouTube videos where people had made like 8 or 10 of them. And that is not something that's really common in the knitting world, to knit one pattern that many times. Sweater patterns, maybe a hat, maybe socks, but not sweaters. So I broke down and purchased the pattern and cast on my first ranunculus, which is the sweater here that I'm wearing. It ended up being probably a little more cropped than I would like, so I think I'm going to take off the bind off and add a few inches and then redo the ribbing. When I knit this, I did knit it in a fingering weight yarn. I used, rather than the suggested size 10 needles, I used size 8. Other than that, I didn't really make too many modifications. I did the short rows in the front and I did the short rows in the back. I knit the yoke, and then I blocked it to see what my gauge was at that point and to determine what size to make. Because my gauge was a little bit tighter, I went up a few sizes, but I didn't want it to be super oversized. So I knit this one in the size 4. And when I got done, I was like, that was fun. I like how the sweater turned out, but I didn't have the urge to cast on another one right away until about a week later when I cast on my second. And this one, I did use the size 10 needles. I knit it double stranded with an alpaca Surrey silk, and that is from, excuse me there, the Dactyle Textile Shop. And I found them on Etsy. I'd been wanting to use the Surrey silk in a fingering weight and hadn't done that before. And then I just paired it with a sock yarn, Regia, just in a cream color. So this I knit the size 2, and it will be long sleeves. The sleeves are still on cords to work later, but I finished the body, and it is a little bit oversized, not hugely oversized, but I was pretty much right on the gauge. I was at about 3.5 stitches per inch. So my second ranunculus. I don't know that I'll knit 3, but I won't rule it out either. Leave me a comment and let me know if you've knit a ranunculus or ranunculi, and if so, how many you've knit, what yarns did you use, what modifications did you make? Also, if you haven't knit the ranunculus yet, what are your reasons why? Is it because of the pictures on the pattern page? Is it because everybody's doing it and so I'm not going to do it? But just what are your reasons for not wanting to knit the ranunculus? So I'm going to dive in to the top 5 reasons that I think, after knitting the pattern twice, that it is so popular for knitters. Number 1, it looks intricate, but it's really surprisingly simple. It's got this yoke motif, and it repeats what's up here at the top, also repeats down here at the end of the yoke textured stitches. And then it's just got some slip stitches and a simple eyelet. So it really is not anything that is difficult to do. I wouldn't suggest it for a first sweater for a knitter, but easily a second sweater. There's nothing difficult about it. It does have some short rows. And on this one, I didn't do the short rows in the front. I just did them on the back. And you'll see if you look at other people's patterns, there's many people that do that. There's also a couple of different options for the cast on, but many people just use the traditional long tail cast on. So you don't have to do anything fancy, but she does give you some options for some different cast ons. I did her tubular cast on, and I really like the look of that. Number 2, you don't have to choose the size you're making until after you knit the yoke. So you're right down here, and then you're going to do some raglan shaping after the yoke is done. So once you finish the yoke, I suggest that you block that portion of the sweater and determine exactly what stitch gauge you're getting. And from that, figure out which size you want to make. So you'll need to decide whether you want it to be oversized, and if so, how much oversized, or if you'd rather have it fit tighter to your body, you probably pick a smaller size. So you just need to know your gauge and how big you want the sweater to be, and then you can choose the size from that information. You can also try it on at that point and see what you think that way too. Number 3, you can use almost any size yarn, from a single strand of lace weight to worsted weight. And you could probably do something a little bit bigger if you wanted to do a chunky or a bulky. I wouldn't do a super bulky, but almost everything else I think would work. And depending on what yarn you choose, the look is going to be different. On this one, because I did a fingering weight with a strand of Surrey silk, that comes out to about a DK weight. So it's still loosely knit, but it's not like netting if you would use fingering by itself or lace weight by itself. Because it's written for such a large gauge, that gives you a lot of flexibility in your yarn selection. And you can do a swatch ahead of time just to see if you like how the fabric looks, but you don't really have to do that because you can do that once you block the yoke and then test that. Depends how much you want to know ahead of time and how much you like to fly by the seat of your pants. I myself do like to fly by the seat of my pants, so I did do a swatch on this one just because I hadn't used the Surrey silk before and I wanted to see what it looked like. But you certainly don't have to. The 4th reason that this pattern is so popular is that the gauge is flexible. The gauge that they give is 3.5 stitches per inch, or 14 stitches for 4 inches. But if you are a little bit looser than that or a little bit tighter than that, you can just take that into account when you're choosing your size. So that gives you a lot of flexibility too. You don't have to be exactly at what they suggest. You can determine if you love your fabric, whether it's tighter or looser, and then use that to make your decision on what size to make. So very flexible gauge-wise. The last reason that, and this is kind of a combination of a few different reasons that you should knit the ranunculus, is flattering. Because it's oversized, it looks good on a wide range of body types. It's quick because you're using a large needle. You kind of fly through it. It doesn't use much yarn, so great for stash busting. And lastly, it's slightly addictive. So you might find yourself making more than one once you get started. Again, I'm going to ask you to leave me comments and let me know what you think of the pattern, how many you've made, what yarn you've used, and why you like the pattern so much, or why you don't care for the pattern. Interested in hearing both perspectives. So, if you've been thinking about knitting a ranunculus, I encourage you to give it a try. It is doable for advanced beginners, so really it's pretty much open to anybody. Or I know a lot of beginning knitters who are just more on the adventurous side of the spectrum. Totally doable for them. You don't have to choose your size until after the yoke is made. That's a good thing. You can use any yarn from lace to worsted weight. The gauge is really flexible and forgiving, but you will need to figure out what your gauge is once you've knit your yoke to determine which size you make and how large or how small you want the sweater to be. Lastly, it's fast, it's flattering, doesn't use much yarn, and it's slightly addictive. So beware, you may be making more than one of these. Thank you so much for watching today. If you got some value out of the video, please hit that like button. And as I said, leave me some comments. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.